Hello everyone, I'm here today with another video in the Pocket Page Roundup series, and our theme for October is the great outdoors. So I have very nature-based photos happening here. And just to let you know, in order to view everybody else's videos too, review the links below. That will take you to everyone's videos and you can see what they chose to do with this theme. What I'm focusing on is just an evening walk that I went on with a friend. We met up somewhere that is between where we live, and we don't get to go there that often. And it was just the most beautiful early evening. And so I took a bunch of photos. And part of where we walked was just around some little ponds. And as you can see, they were they were pretty scummy then. But that weird green tone, I kind of dig it against the sky. And the plants back here just growing wild. This was kind of mid-September, a little bit early to mid-September. So you can see kind of what was growing then. And then once you come out of there and cross the road, then there's a little, it's like a mini arboretum that they plant. And so all these lovely things were still blooming. And so I took photos of those. These were in there as well. And I think these are going to get cut down to be part of these 2x2s, because as you can see here, hopefully the camera will pick it up well enough. I have two 4x4s on this side. This is not a page configuration that I use a lot. I find it a little bit difficult with a lot of photos that I have, but I thought it might work well here, and I'm challenging myself to use this rather than just let it sit in my stash. So I'm going to give it a go. But I think this one will be up here. I'll probably cut this one down for this pocket. And I think I want to focus on this section. Not so much this bright red over there. It doesn't really go with anything else I have. But this yellow sure does. And this kind of rust color, I think. I don't have it anywhere else necessarily, but I think it works better with this than a red would. So that's my plan there. And then I probably will just cut down each of these into a 2x2, which leaves me two pockets where I can embellish or add sequins or put in a tiny little pocket card. I don't know what's going to be there, but stay with me here and find out. Okay, I have cut down those smaller photos I had, and I have them ready to go in the 2x2s somehow. I do think I'll space them apart, just because it would be nice to have sequins or embellishments or a pocket card in between them to just help stretch that out a little bit. That's my plan with those. And then over here, I did go with this one, but when I cut it at 4 inches, I still got a little bit of that red in there. I'm not super happy about that. So I think what I may do is try to do like a semicircle or some kind of label or embellishment I can hang off the edge that will cover that. It's not horribly distracting, but I'd like to cover it if I can. So I'm thinking I can do something over here, which allows me to then do something like up top here, because I've got a lot of dead space in the sky, and that might just work out perfectly. So in addition to this project, this collaboration and hop that I do every month, I chose this year to do an October daily album, and I was realizing, hey, there's stuff in there that I could also use for this, because it was fall. Well, it wasn't September 21st yet, or whenever fall fell this year, but it was close, and it was looking fallish from here. And so I thought, I'm just going to pull out some of the stuff that I have set aside for that and see what'll work. I have these, and right away, I'm loving this one. Now, that color works well like with this right here. Doesn't really go with anything else. The only way I think I could get away with it is if I either used sequins in that color or an embellishment or pocket card that has that color. Otherwise, it doesn't really go. So I'm not sure, but I definitely have some others like the Hey Autumn. That would certainly match. I've got lots of yellow there. So I'm keeping this in mind as a good option, but I also pulled out a bunch of my fall color palette things with my labels and just some circular embellishments. I have these pennant flag type things here that are in that same color palette. And then I have all of these, which are miscellaneous fall phrases and then just some colorful leaves. So amongst all this stuff, I should be able to find something that is suitable. I have found one thing I think that I want to use, and it's going to go in a pocket here. It's this little circular element, and it's a 2-inch circle, so it is perfectly sized to go right into one of those pockets, and I don't have to do a lot of work. So I could certainly put that in there, and it has a little pinky, reddish, orangey tone here, kind of all of those working. So if I use that, I might be able to just leave this over here and it won't be too noticeable. I could still cover it up if I want, but I could also leave it if I want to. So it gives me more options, and I dig that. So I think I am going to go with this. So now I only have to find something for the bottom pocket. Because our theme, the title, is actually the Great Outdoors, I know I have several things that say that. So I was trying to find some stuff. And I pulled out these, and it does say it here, but that blue is totally wrong. So I can't use that. I do have this one that says Never Stop Exploring, which is, you know, similar. It's definitely an outdoor theme, but I don't like that as well. I would really like it to actually say this. I think I also have a stamp set that's a national park or state park one that might say it in there as well. So I could do that and then stamp here, or if it fits, I could do it on a label and put it up here. I'm not sure yet, but I'd really like to actually work in that phrase if I can. All right, I didn't find a stamp set that actually said the Great Outdoors in it, which shocks me. I swear I had one, but I must have imagined it because I don't. But I went into my cards, my pocket cards, to see if there's anything either that came as a 2x2 or that I could cut down. I don't have anything printed, but I do have a digital file. So I think what I'm going to do, it's a 3x4. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it into Word, resize it so it'll look correct as a 2x2, print it, and then I can use it down here. I think the green will work. It's always hard to tell on screen, but hopefully it will match. I figured since I was dropping into Word and printing anyway, I would throw some other stuff on there. So I also found this little one that says Smell the Fresh Air in the event that I don't like this when it's cut down. And actually, I'm not sure that that green is going to work looking at that. It kind of goes with this. But then I also did this one with some cattails in there because I could cut that down to be 2x2 and it would work. This was just an extra fun thing. This one, though, I found in there in a set of digital files I have. So I may, if I don't like this one, which I'm thinking I don't, I could cut this out and I may use that somewhere on the layout instead. All right, I cut out the phrase, and I definitely think I want to use this and not the other idea I had. I think the green goes better, and I love that it's a long strip, so I can just put it right up in that sky there, and then I can add an embellishment around it just to give it a little extra punch. So I like that. And then I think I'm going to use this card. I probably will cut it pretty close to the left here, so I'll lose some of this, but that's fine. But then it should leave me some room over here to journal, so I can just get in a little blurb about my friend and I being out for a walk and enjoying the outdoors. All right, I cut this down so it fits very nicely with the rest of what I've got going here, and I love that there's a lot of white space. It brings in the white here, the subtle white of the flowers. I just think it all works together very nicely. And I did cut this when I was off camera thinking, oh, I've got yellow, I can work that in. But I've decided it's a little too yellow. It's very bright. And to tone that down a little bit and go more with this color, which is more of a golden yellow, and to match this here, I'm going to go with this little flag instead. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer here. So I can put it right up here, have that peeking behind, put a little staple in there or something. And I still could add a third thing, a little enamel dot or a star, or I probably have a leaf somewhere. I'll figure out what to add in there, but I definitely want that to bring in some of that color. All right, I added those on and I like it. So now all I have to do is put in my little staple here at the top. And now I have that done. And I'm still thinking about what else I might want to add there, if anything. And now I have to figure out what to do down here. I could still do something, but I kind of like the photo as is now. So I'm wondering, should I bring in something down here? Or what am I going to do? I can't really hang anything off here because of this. It would still have to be here, which again, I'm not sure about. But I like the idea of having something opposite at a diagonal of this. So I'm wondering, can I sneak a small phrase in there somehow, plus still do small journaling? I'm not sure. So I'm going to look through my stuff and see what I find. I couldn't decide what else to do, so I think I'm going to cheat a little bit. I've already cut this down to 2x2. I'm going to cut it down even more. In my stash of yellow papers, I found this. And it has a mix of these yellows. And this was from an old Messy Box kit, I think. I've had it forever. So it actually came as a 3x3 card, but it looks like a scrap. I'm just going to cut it down to 2x2, trim a tiny little bit off here, and make it a matte, and that way you'll just see a little yellow peeking through. It'll work with what I've got going. It'll add a little something to that card, and I could still embellish over here if I want. All right, I did the matting. It is super, super skinny around that edge, but I like that it adds just a pop of that yellow, so that's good. Up here, I have pulled out a bunch of enamel dots to see if I can just find a couple that maybe I can sprinkle around in these colors that will match. That might be it, but I also did pull this yellow label to put over here or even cover that up. Actually, you know what? It looks better like that. Having that little bit of color there to pull in this. So I may or may not do that, but I do think I want the enamel dots. Originally, I thought I would just do a standard enamel dot. I also had a set of puffy stickers stuck in there. They really should be somewhere else, but they were in with my enamel dots. But then in there, I found these. And I thought I could pull in that little pink butterfly. I mean, what else am I going to use that for, really? I've had these forever. These are from Gossamer Blue, who hasn't even been in business for a while. So I think I'm going to use that one and put it up here to bring in that little pink that's there and the pink in the flowers over here. Well, I ended up using all of the butterflies that were on here because there were 3 and they all had colors that matched. So this is what I've ended up with this layout here. So there's the pink one. I did the turquoise aqua one down here and then the yellowy mustard one here. And so there is my finished layout. I hope you had fun watching my process, and don't forget to watch everybody else's videos linked down below. Thanks for watching.